Hey, you guys, it's Tuesday. I'm Trisha Turner. It's time for another episode of Anything But Average, Achieving Success in Life. And I have my good friend Beth Jones with me today. Hi, Beth.
Hey, girl, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
It's wonderful.
There's like a lag.
There's a little bit of a lag. Tell me, I'm out in the country.
I know. Hey, for you guys that don't know, Beth and I have been friends now since joining EXP. We just were talking about it before getting on. So little backstory, I was an independent broker. I had my own company, switched over to EXP in October of 2018, left my own company behind, and met the most incredible people in the whole wide world in real estate and beyond. And Beth is one of them. Kind of give everybody, so we can edify you, give everybody a little bit of your backstory, how long you've been in real estate, what got you to EXP, and how long you've been with EXP.
Okay, perfect. So I've been in real estate. I've started in real estate about 2009. I did not get licensed until 2011. Dabbled in some investing, purchasing, things like that, but decided to get my license after my youngest was 6 months old. And so started mentoring with a little mom and pop brokerage in Amarillo, and I absolutely love and adore them still to this day. They are my heart and soul of real estate, and I wouldn't trade my real estate raising for the world. But got my license with them, and they taught me all sorts of things. And I ended up moving to another big box brokerage because I wanted to start a team, and moved over there in 2014. And stayed there for 4 years, grew an amazing team, learned a lot about leadership and being more of a supervisor role. And then in 2018, my team and I moved over to EXP. And so we've been rocking and rolling at EXP for almost 4 years now. So it's been an amazing ride, super excited about it. There's been lots and lots of growth opportunities. And so, working, and said, really the biggest thing I've learned is the network opportunity and expanding, being able to expand all across Texas at this point because of the cloud-based brokerage model.
So when you first were in real estate and you went from being just a single agent, then you were a team leader, what was that first thing that made you be like, you know what, I want to create a team? Because a lot of people don't get that mindset. So what was it for you?
So for me, at the time that I was an independent agent, I was the youngest in the entire building. And I had been given so much training and opportunity with that company that I wanted to be able to give back. And so I had a heart for teaching other agents. And at the time, there wasn't a whole lot of agents my age. And so I really started recruiting naturally, thinking, man, this is so fun. I love this. I can see so many of my friends and these people doing this. Everybody just needs to come get the real estate license. And so I started naturally recruiting my friends and people that I knew were in situations, stay-at-home moms, because I thought, man, this would be perfect for a stay-at-home mom. This would be perfect for a teacher who has the entire summer off and they want just some, additional income to go pay for that dream Disney vacation for their family. This is the way to do it. Everybody should have the real estate license. And so that's kind of where my mind shifted from independent to more of a leadership role. And at the time, teams were not really a thing. They may have been in bigger markets, but in our market, there was maybe one or two other teams. And so at the time, my brokerage at that time didn't necessarily know how to map that out. And so I knew at that point, if I wanted to grow in that area, I had to go somewhere that and so that was my initial reason for changing brokerages and starting a team immediately for moving. So.
Okay. And then your role as a team leader, like people don't know it unless they've been in those shoes. It's hard to run a team, especially with expansion and especially with innovation and all of the disruption that we have coming at our industry. And so you have been doing this for several years. You went from one brokerage to another, and you've continued to expand. So you're now expanding outside of the Amarillo market, correct?
Correct. So our team is in the Amarillo area, all the little towns around Amarillo, the Texas Panhandle. We're down in Lubbock. We are in the DFW area, and then we are also in the North Houston area. So we've expanded, and we're looking into other opportunities down like in Abilene, Waco, Wichita Falls, stuff like that. So we're looking for the right partner in those areas at this point.
And so when you started with EXP, that was like, and for anyone listening that doesn't know, like we are part of this group called Honey Badgers, and Jay Kinder and Michael Reese are like Top and Brent Gove, all of them are in it with us. Mm-hmm. And so you were like one of the first people in the Honey Badger group, because I came on in October of 18. So you were months ahead of me. And you came on really when EXP was in its infancy, and there was so many struggles. And then, of course, you changing from one brokerage to another, running a team, all of the things that you had going on, you've continued to be super successful. What do you think is one of the key things that has helped you just continue to expand and grow?
So I am an opportunity digger. I'm always looking for opportunity, and anything I can get my hands in, I'm on board. I'm a yes girl. Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's go rock and roll. I'm your girl. Let's do this. And thankfully, my team is the same way. And so whenever I went to them and said, hey guys, I'm starting this other business, I've got to figure out a way to be two places at once. The only way to do that is to go to a cloud-based brokerage. And we knew nothing about EXP at the time. And I knew that there were some other agents and teams that had gone over there, but I knew nothing about the brokerage. And so I presented this opportunity to my team, and they were like, yeah, sure, let's go. Like, no big deal. There was no attachment to the brokerage. It was the attachment to our team, our family. And so every one of them were like, yeah, sure, on board. So we onboarded with EXP before we even really knew what we were getting ourselves into. So happy little blessing there. But with the fact that we were able to jump on very early in the stages, I think at the time that I jumped on, there was maybe 5,000 agents in the entire brokerage, and they weren't international at the time. I think there was maybe 450 people in the Honey Badger group, and now there's over 5,000. I mean, so I've been there to kind of get to watch it all. I'm an OG for sure. Accidental OG, really. But just with this model and this cloud-based brokerage, it's really allowed us the opportunity to expand. I'd always wanted to expand down into the Dallas area, but at my previous brokerage, I basically had to pay 2 caps and 2 splits and to each, market center at that point. And so I was looking at having to pay over $50,000 just to hold my license there. And obviously I don't want to just give away $50,000. And so EXP was a nice little surprise, knowing that I could literally branch out anywhere, honestly, in the world. As long as I am licensed and a part of that association, I can go anywhere. And so now we're a part of 4 associations and working on expansion from there. So we've got partners in Florida and Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico. And I do have a potential partner down in Puerto Rico now at this point. So we are working on expansion and growth, and there's no stopping us at this point. So it's fun.
No. And so do you think, I know for me, one of the greatest things in the world is because I have friends like you, I would not know you probably if it wasn't for EXP and our whole group. And, I posted something this morning on Facebook that 95% of the world are followers and 5% are leaders. And my oldest son, who's 23, he is, as you know, you've met him at Grant Cardone.
I love him.
I do too. We're involved in a lot of stuff together, and I'm constantly working on him and molding him. And so I was explaining this to him the other day, and I was like, I told him, you're a 5%er, and it's rare to find 5%ers. They're hard to find, but when you find them, you just want to be around them. You're like, they're magnetic. It's like, oh my gosh. So with this company, EXP, I don't know how in the world, but it's like it found all the 5%ers, or we're still looking for more. It's found a bunch of 5%ers, and they're all part of this company. And so we do nothing but collaborate together. We want to grow these empires. I would say that's my greatest thing about the company. What did you say? Yeah.
Oh, 100%. But the other thing I love so much about that is because we all have that mindset that we want to grow all of these individual empires. But the cool thing about it is I want to help you grow yours. You want to help me grow mine. And, you know, all of our coaches and business partners all around the world are always like, yes, what can I do to help you? I have never, I get goosebumps talking about it still because I was never in an area where I had people that it did not benefit them whatsoever to help me, other than just pure joy and satisfaction that they helped somebody. Yeah. And that's always been my mentality, which is why I wanted to start a team in the first place. So it's been really nice to be able to receive that in return from people all over the world, really. Canada, Puerto Rico, Florida. You know, it's been really, really fun to just be a part of something that's so much bigger than myself, you know.
Yeah. And so like for me, you know, when you're trying to change the world, I said this to an agent that was in here talking to me yesterday. I was like, there's a sign in my office that says I'm on a mission to change the world. I am. Mm-hmm. And I believe that the world is horrible. And I know the real estate industry has such a bad label. And I believe that when you put the right people together, building this army, we can change the world and we can change the industry. And that's my mission. And so number one, I wanted to see this book. I have to show you this book because you were just saying about it. So this is Rocket Fuel. Have you ever read it?
I have not. I need to.
Okay, you need to read this book. Okay, so anybody out there that has not read Rocket Fuel, you need to read it because I'd be curious, Beth, to see where you are in this book. It talks about two different people, a visionary and an integrator. And a visionary is somebody that's always seeking, always building, never satisfied, always looking at like this bigger picture. I'm a visionary. And a visionary is a terrible implementer. They're like, I can create all this stuff and I'll launch it all, but I'm not going to like connect all the dots. That stuff, I can't do it. I'm not wired that way. That's the integrator.
That's 100% me. You can ask my office manager and one of my closest friends, Sandra. She is a godsend because I have all of these crazy harebrained ideas, but I don't know how to implement them. So she will sit down and dissect it and we'll work backwards. And she's like, okay, if we do this, then we can get there. And if we do this, then we can get there. And I'm like, thank God for you because you pick up where I leave off.
Yes. I hired someone last week. He's going to start May 3rd, and he's been in the Army for 14 years. He's our new director of ops. And it's like the first time I interviewed him, it was through Zoom, and I told him about Rocket Fuel, and I started just throwing stuff at him, and he was just putting it all together. He does logistics for the Army. It's like, holy crap, this is going to be insane because I just start throwing stuff out there. And so my mind has been on fire with like ideas for the last month. And so part of what we want to talk about to everybody listening today is but you hear us talking about collaboration, you hear us talking about the real estate industry, and people think it's hard, that it's easy to be in real estate and be successful. It's not. And if you look at stats, and if you look at the National Association of Realtors stats, the alarming thing is since COVID, and this was just released, 47% of real estate agents have not sold one house since COVID. So, and in the market that we're in right now, it's really hard to get homes sold because there's nothing on the market. And so there's a gazillion buyers. And if you think that they're only talking to you as a real estate agent, they're not. They're talking to a bunch of real estate agents because there's a bunch of agents that aren't selling houses and they're looking for business. So part of what I see, and have been doing this forever, is that our industry is in a really bad position right now. When you have no inventory and no people selling houses, that means no money. And so Beth and I and Nick Good have formed this group, and it's called OCG. And what it stands for is our coalition group. And we believe, and if you look up the definition coalition, and you can go to our Facebook group, we're ready to have everybody come in there and interact with us. If you look at the definition of coalition, it stands for a group of people with the same alliance to create something better, bigger. And so that's what our vision is that we believe in across the world, not just the United States anymore, because now we can do it globally. But we believe, I'm a broker, Nick's a broker, Beth's a team leader and a top producer. We have years of experience and a heart to serve and help. And so we've created this group to be that help, because there's a lot of brokers and team leaders out there that don't give a crap about their agents, and they're not spending any money to help them, and they're not bringing in any training. And at the end of the day, they're going to be out of business in 2 or 3 years. So we don't want that to be you guys. So Beth, I want to kind of hear from you. Like, I launched this group, and I texted Nick and Beth, and I shared my vision with them. And I was like, are y'all in? And they're like, Hell yes. Beth, tell me what
Absolutely.
you as your vision for OCG, the future of real estate, and what our goals are for the group.
So really, just like I had said, whenever I wanted to transition from an independent agent to a team leader, my heart was always, I have a servant's heart. My heart is always to serve others and to help others succeed and grow, because that gives me, the warm and fuzzies that I'm always looking for. And so when you messaged and said, this is my thought, this is what I want to do, of course I'm in. That absolutely, like, I believe that, and so it absolutely lines up with every mission I've ever been a part of anyways. And so why wouldn't I want to do that? And I'm right there with you. A lot of the agents that I mentor or even just hold accountable for things, they have no idea what they're doing, or they don't have appropriate training. And so they need to reach out to me or to other agents that have been in the business, longer, because they're not getting fulfillment where they're at. And I don't care what brokerage you are. I don't care where you live. I don't care what your beliefs are. If you have the passion and the drive and want to better your life and your family's life and hop into something where you can create your own schedule, I want to help you. I want to help you whether it helps me or not, because I was there once. I received that help whenever I was there. So I want to give that back. And I know that's where your heart is. And I know Nick is in the same path. Nick is a freaking rock star. And I'm always like, man, I love being the dumbest person in the room, because every time I go to conferences and in NAEA masterminds and stuff, my favorite place to be back of them, observing and knowing I don't know everything, and I never claim to. Man, I'm around all the people that do. So so I want to be able to create that and open up that door and opportunity to everybody else that doesn't even realize that is a possible opportunity for them. And so when you brought this on, I'm like, yes, let's rock and roll. How can we do this? And so anybody, regardless of brokerage, regardless of, what level of real estate you're in, we want you to be a part of this coalition, because we want to see you succeed. And the people that are in that group, we've strategically placed there so far, because we see not only can we bring them value, but they can also bring value to everybody else that's coming in. So I'm really excited to see how this grows, not just with what we can provide them, but what they can provide us.
Yeah. And for me, like, I've been in real estate since 92. So back then it was key maps and pagers and property desks with big binders. And never in my wildest dreams would I think that we'd be Zooming stuff and that I'd be collaborating with people in different cities, in different states, in different countries, all for the same purpose, which is to have a better industry. When I was an individual agent before I got my broker's license, I went through a divorce. I went through the mortgage crash in 8, 9, and 10. I went through a dark time where I was like taking care of my kids using my credit cards and amassed this huge credit card debt. And nobody ever was like, holy crap, let me show you the way. Let me help you. Right. Nobody. And so I just dug my head in the sand, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to freaking figure this out. And so I did. And it was always just seeking. And that was 10 years ago. And it's like, I have a passion for kind of like the stray dogs, the people that nobody cares about, the people that just get kicked to the side to fend for themselves, because that was me. And it's like, I don't want that to ever be anybody else out there. And brokers too, that open companies and open their own brokerages, and they put this facade out about how profitable they are. They're lying. Yeah. They're lying. It's like the days of having a brokerage that's profitable are going away, because the industry is changing so fast and it's so expensive to compete with the giants. I mean, if you look at the giants, you look at Redfin and you look at Zillow. Do we want to be Redfin and Zillow? Hell no. They're freaking trash. But you know what? They got the marketing dollars to come at us. And you know what? Because we're part of this big company, we got the money and the power to go right back at them. But these other little mom and pop companies and these other old school companies that aren't paying attention and don't give a crap, they're not doing anything. And you just like Amazon came and shut all the mom and pops down, or they joined Amazon. And so it's like, you got to look at what we're doing. We're kind of following that same path. It's like, okay, we're going to shut down the small mom and pops because it's a better way. It's a better way for their agents. And so they need to just come with us. And for people that don't see it, it's like, how do you not want to be part of something that's going to be freaking the Amazon? I mean, that's the thing to me.
Right. We're in this mindset of adapt or die. And a lot of people are so scared of change that they don't even realize that they're absolutely refusing to adapt. just subconsciously because they're so afraid of change.
Yep.
And we, we were talking about, obviously we want to go for these underdogs and these people that, just kind of need help getting right back on the path to success. But we don't want to just go after those people. There's people on I have a hit list. Like there's people on my hit list where I'm like, you deserve so much better. You are a freaking rock star. You're killing it. You deserve so much better. I want to put you on a freaking pedestal. I want to grow you because you're growing and you're doing great, but man, if I could light a rocket under you, look how much you could soar. And so like those people are on my hit list too, because I'm like, you deserve so much better than what you're getting. Oh my gosh, you're missing out on so many opportunities and you don't even realize it. So,
when I was just an individual agent, when I was, going through my hard time 10 years ago, I wish to God there was a group like what we've created, because I didn't have anything to go to. I didn't have anything to turn to. And if you think back 10 and 11 years ago, I mean, coaching was just kind of getting started. Now it's all over the place. But again, it's like these poor agents and everybody else, that there's a coach for everything. And it's like, hold on a second. You got to pay attention to who you're paying attention to. Make sure that they've done what you want to do. Make sure that they are where you want to go, Make sure they have a track record. So in our group, here we are, like offering free stuff. We're putting pro tips in our group every day. We're here just to help the industry because we have the path. We can show you the way. You just got to come in here and collaborate with us.
Yeah, you just got to be open to the idea for sure. And another thing that you said that caught my attention was there's a coach for everything. But when you look at these agents, these newer agents, these agents that are only closing, 5-10 deals a year, they that whether they know it or not, they're craving that coaching, but they just can't afford it. And so we've really opened up another opportunity where we're like, I know you need this. You know you need this. Let me just give it to you. Here's your gift. Like, here's your gift of success. Let me just give this to you. I'm not going to charge you for it. I just want you to succeed. I just want you to be the rock star that I know you can be. So here's the path. Here's the books. Here's the scripts. Here's everything you need to be successful. Just take it. Ball's in your court at this point. I'm literally giving you like the golden egg. Just take it. Here it is. No cost.
And there's so much there's things coming at us constantly, distractions, things to take you down a rabbit hole. Look at this shiny object. Look at this. This is the best CRM. This is this. And it's like these poor people get tied up in so many distractions that it literally takes people out of production and it takes people off the right path. And it's like, we are in our group, we're just putting in there things that matter. These are the things that you need to be doing day in, day out. You don't need to go look for things everywhere else. We're just going to give you everything. And we're going to be there to be like, hey, if you got a question, reach out, tag one of us all day long. Doesn't matter what part of the world you're in.
Right. I mean, I've at this point, mentoring with the company has been awesome. There's a lot of agents. There's way more agents than there are mentors. And so that's something that I want to try to help revamp is we've got to get more mentors. So whether you're with the company or not, we still need people to teach. We still need people to help each other out. And so again, I've had agents from other brokerages that don't have a relationship with their broker or just simply don't have anyone to go to, don't have a mentor or don't feel comfortable going to those people that they're like, hey, I really have a question on this. Can you help me run a market analysis? Can you look over my contract so I don't look like an idiot presenting it to my client? And I'm like, absolutely, send it over. I don't care who you're with. I am there to help you. So because whenever 6 months down the road, you and I do a deal together, I know that you know what you're doing because I know I helped you. So I love that aspect of all of this as well.
And, I think as the real estate industry continues to grow and progress, and who knows what the next 2 to 5 years are going to look like. Every year, it seems like we're going through some weird thing in the world now. I have comfort knowing that we have our group, that we're tight. We are just here. We're going to continue to grow. I'm not worried about my future. But if I was an agent or a broker out there that was kind of on their own, I would be worried. I'd be totally worried.
Yeah. For sure. We were basically built for COVID. We were basically built. We're a cloud-based brokerage. Most of us have offices. You have an office. I have an office. Nick has an office. have offices, but the brokerage itself doesn't have an office because everything is in the cloud. And so we were literally built to dominate through a pandemic. And look how flawlessly the company did, and so like that track record you were talking about when you're looking for coaches and stuff like that, you need to be looking at that track record and with your brokerages whenever you're interviewing with brokerages, because if your broker is only doing this, you need to be looking at brokerages that are going like that. I'm going to the moon. I don't know where you're going, but if you want to come with me, get on my rocket, let's go, because I'm not stopping and my company's not stopping.
And the coolest thing is that we're all like-minded. So we're always seeking to do more. So like when we get in our groups, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then you leave there and you're like, I want to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm changing my goals. Now I'm going to go do this,
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about it is like, you've already, if I like something you're doing, you've already figured it out. And so you are like, well, here, let me just give you my playbook. Like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to figure it out. I've already literally done all of the legwork for you. Just plug and play your name from where my name is, and you've got it. There you go. Here's my gift to you. And so I love that about our coalition group. I love that about our Honey Badger group. I love that about our brokerage in general.
I love it too. So for the future of your team and Beth Jones, what does that look like for everybody that's paying attention?
We are only going up from here. I'm always looking for expansion opportunities and other opportunities in real estate, not just buying and selling and whatnot. Like a lot of us are going through a commercial certification class right now to get commercially certified, which if you are an agent and you are not certified commercially, it's typically around $500 to do so, but eXp is offering it regardless of your brokerage for free. So if that's something you guys are interested in, you guys need to reach out to us, because we have so many golden nuggets that we can just give you because our brokerage is so generous. No matter where you are, take advantage of it. Whether you're moving brokerages, staying brokerage, I don't care where you are, but better yourself. Come on, and so we're always bettering ourselves. We're always looking for those opportunities to grow mentally, physically, expansion anywhere you can think of. Like I said, we want to be all over Texas. There is a shortage of agents in Abilene, Wichita Falls, Waco. I mean, all of those places are prime areas that we want to target because there's not very many agents with eXp in those areas. So whoever we can find in that area, they're literally going to be sitting on a gold mine.
Yep. And
so I want to find that perfect partner and mold them to be a badass, because I've been molded to be one. I'm not saying I am. I'm always changing and ever evolving, but that's our industry anyways. So why not give what I've been given, give it to somebody else, help them be successful. And then I just get to sit back and be like, man, job well done. Good job.
When we were at the Grant Cardone 10X thing, if you guys were paying attention, Beth and I were there. It was like a month ago, huh?
It was spring break. It was March. So yeah.
Okay. So Glenn Sanford was up on the stage, and out of that, all the speakers that we listened to, the one thing that resonated with me for the entire conference was when he said, if you're not growing, you're rotting. It resounded with me so much so, because if you think about it, it's with anything. It's your brain, it's your company, it's your relationships. He's so right. Yes. Think of that. So with us, in real estate, the leaders, it's like we're constantly seeking to learn more. How did they do that? How are we going to beat that? How are we going to be more innovative? That's learning. That's growing. It's not just always growing the company. It's growing your mind too. And I think with us, when you get people that find their passion and their purpose, it's like they don't get tired ever. Like I have to make myself stop working. It's robotic almost.
Yeah. It's just bred into us. It's in our veins. We don't know how to stop.
No, because there's such a high from it, Yeah. It's absolutely. Like when I talk to people, I just throw up this passion on them, and it's like infectious,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I see this vision, and I'm so thankful that you're in the Dallas area, because I can come and I can be there with y'all. Like I can't wait till I'm going to see y'all soon, We're collaborating because y'all are not that far away.
Nope.
We got stuff to talk about.
We've got so much to do.
We've just begun.
Right. But we'll never be done. We'll never be done. Because by squirrel, let's go over here and do this, and let's go fix this problem, and let's just help all these other people build these coalition groups. And it's just going to be on and on and on, because we're on that never-ending roller coaster of adaptation. You were saying, if you're not growing, you're rotting. Yeah, I live by adapt or die. Because and like I said earlier, people are so afraid of change because they're in their comfort zone. But if you stay in your comfort zone, you're not going to grow. So don't tell me you want to be a big badass team leader and you want to do all these things and you want to expand whenever you're not even willing to get out of your own comfort zone. No. So that's where I am. That's where we are. That's where this coalition group is from and birthed from. We want to get all of these people out of their comfort zone. Grant Cardone always says, commit now, we'll figure the rest out later.
Yes.
And it's so true. It's so true. I committed EXP and I figured the rest out later. I didn't have a clue what I was getting myself into. But once we all realized that not only did we save on our cap and our splits, but then we were gifted stock, and then we were revenue share and all this other stuff. And I mean, that in of itself is going to retire me. Yep. I have every intention of retiring at 42 and I'm on the right path to do it. So I
love that.
Yeah. So
the listeners are probably like, holy crap, I want to do that.
Well, come on, let's go.
Tell them how to rocket. Where can they find you at, Beth?
Oh, yeah. So you can find me on Facebook. It's Beth Jones, or Beth Ann Jones is my middle name. You can find our real estate website at boldmovestexas.com. You can call or text me 806-640-3988, or better yet, you can find us in our coalition group on Facebook.
Definitely. I love that. Cannot wait to see what the future brings, Beth. I'm super excited about the rest of this year and continuing on into the future and just continuing to grow. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. Me too. I'm so excited. Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You guys, thanks for watching us today. We will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.